All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. We definitely appreciate the support. Hope you guys can see me and hear me. Let me know in the comment section below. This is something that I'm excited to do, and I'm just happy to come here and talk to you guys about random things because I dig it. I love it. I love doing things like this. And today I'm going to talk about looters because it's happening a lot in Texas, right? It happens everywhere, but every time we have some type of situation, every time we have some type of emergency situation or something like that, it seems to be happening all over the country, and it's just sad. So I hope you guys are enjoying this channel. I hope you guys like what we're doing here. Let me know in the comment section below. I'm running a little bit late today. And, you know, I'm about 10 minutes late, but I see some of you guys here in the comments already. You know, I see Gary, Richard, let's see who else. 9x19, 119335, Count Spooky, Gregory's out there. So if you're watching in the live, welcome to the channel. If you're watching in the replay, put some comments down below. Let us know what you think. And Subtap is in the house. Go ahead and subscribe to him as well. Check it out, guys. I've been talking about this, and I think it's critical. I think it's important. If you guys want to support, there's going to be links down below for you guys to do that. Donate $1, $5, $10, $100. $1,000, whatever you guys want to donate. We have two different groups in there. We have the Winning Walk, which is people right now in Texas. Christian Church is doing great things for the community, providing water assistance and things like that that the people need. So they're right now, you know, foot on ground, taking care of business. And then we have the Red Cross as well, doing fantastic things as well. So if you guys want to support, there's going to be links down below in the description box. Definitely support. It's good to help the people, right? It's good to help. It's always good to help. I dig it. And so let me take a look. I want to talk about this first. There's a bunch of comments coming up. I don't want to get into questions yet, but there's really a bunch of comments coming up, and I'm still learning how to use OBS. I think the streams are getting better with this system right here, but there's a lot of things, definitely a lot of things going on. So I got to get, you know, I got to start learning how to use this more. There's the comments on the right side, but check it out. And again, you know, I'm going to look at some of the questions here in a minute, but looters is something that it upset me. It truly does upset me when I see things that happen in this country and when I see people that just take advantage of other people, right? I mean, I think just common sense and, you know, not common sense, but just being a good citizen would tell you to help your neighbor in some type of crisis or some type of emergency situation. But I get it. You know, we're not perfect. We tend to do things that may not be the right thing to do, but there are some things that are just unacceptable, right? And for some reason, my notes here are not working, but there's just some things that are just unacceptable. And when you see people looting and when you see people breaking stuff and when you see people destroying people's property and stealing what they work really hard to get, it just upset me. I mean, it really does. And it happened in Ferguson, it happened in Maryland, and houses happening here in Texas as well. And there's a couple of videos in the internet going pretty crazy, right? There's a video, I think I'll link it down below. If I didn't, I apologize, but I think I put it down below. There's a video of a guy, former police officer, holding a shotgun in some, I think the video has about 1 million views right now, but holding a shotgun in a parking lot and saying, you know what, I'm a former law enforcement, and this is not going to happen. I'm not going to let people go there and steal my, you know, steal from the community or whatever, you know, said things like that. And again, I think I put the video in the link section, in the description section, so definitely check it out as well. But it just upset me. Like, it really gets me to a different level when I see people selling a case of water for $90, $70 to $90. It's just upsetting, you know. It's just upsetting. Like sometimes I think to myself, you know, people like that should get a beat down. And I'm not encouraging nothing. So no, don't be doing things. I'm not telling you to do anything. But it just upset me to a different part where the devil dog comes out of me, right? The Marine comes out of me sometimes. I want to be loving. I want to love people. You know, I want to follow Jesus Christ's example. And I try to do every single day. That's what I try to strike in my life, to be a follower, because Christ says, my disciples will follow my teaching, right? So I don't want to be a believer. I want to be a disciple. But when I see people doing that kind of stuff, it truly upset me, and I'm sure it upsets some of you guys as well. It's just crazy to see that. So let me see some of the comments here. Man, I hate this. There's a lot of good comments coming in, but I want to put my point. I think I want to look at some of the comments. But it does upset me. So obviously preparedness is one of the things. Obviously having the right thing in your house is something that you really need to have, right? But I want to tell you something that I said in the past, and I'm going to stick to my opinion. And I know some of you guys may not think it's the right thing, or some of you guys may not think it's the best thing to do. But in reality is that everything can be replaced. All right, so everything could be replaced. You know, a house could be replaced. A business have insurance. Your house have insurance. You know, your computer could be replaced. Your camera could be replaced. Everything can be replaced in a way. You know, it may take you some extra hours to work. It may take you to go there and maybe work overtime, or it may take you some time to replace your car. But everything can be replaced. What cannot be replaced is your life, and what cannot be replaced is some of the events that you may put yourself through. You know, the military has a lot to deal with PTSD based on that fact right there, right? So again, everything can be replaced. So keep that in mind, because you know, a lot of times we say, you know what, if someone comes in my house, I'm gonna kill him, right? And a lot of times I say, listen, man, you don't know what it takes to kill a person. It takes a lot. It's going to take a lot on you. It's going to take a lot in your family. It's going to take a lot on many different things, right? The psychological parts or your life that is going to get, you're going to have issues. Trust me. You're going to deal with this for years and years and years to come. You just don't shoot a person and it stop. You're going to deal with that. Your family is going to deal with that. Your wife is going to deal with that. You know, every time they go into the kitchen to get some food, they're going to realize, here's the person that died because you shot him for whatever reason. So again, I'm not saying by no means that you don't have the right to defend your property. You do. You know, you do, and I feel the same way. And just keep in mind that it's not that simple. That's what I'm trying to say, people. It's not that simple as some people put it. And in my opinion, if the guy is going to steal my, you know, TV that, you know, some of you guys may be old, right? You guys remember when TVs were like $1,000? Now the TV is like $350. It's unbelievable. You could go to Walmart, for some of you young bucks out there. I'm still young, but you could buy a TV like 50 inches for like, I don't know, like $400. A few years ago, that was like, no. Any TV was $1,000. So, again, you know, killing a person over a TV, it's just not going to be the best thing to do, right? It may bring you some more issues. So keep that in mind. You know, when you see these looters, yeah, definitely I want to protect my family. Definitely I want to protect what I have. But the thing about, you know, I'm not going to kill somebody over a TV. You know, it's just, it is what it is. You know, you want the TV, take the TV. You know, again, you know, I'm trying to be as honest as I can. I just not going to shoot a person over a TV. The Daily Shooter said, well, how big is the TV? Good point, man. Good point. Let me see Gary here. Gary said, I can't remember when TVs were black and white and there was no cable. Got it. It is what it is. So that's what I'm trying to say. Big shout out to Subtac. Donated $5 to the channel on the super chat. Thank you, sir. We definitely appreciate that. But remember, guys, we're trying to collect money for these groups here in Texas. So if you guys want to make donations, check out the links down below. And definitely make a donation to these people right here. They're doing great, fantastic job. And that's one of the reasons why I'm doing this stream right now, in order to collect money for them. I think it's important to help the community, right? So, again, you know, how do you deal with looters? Now that I went into that spill, how do you deal with looters? And to me, it's always have been the simple fact that, you know, you want to be a hard target. You want to be a hard target. You don't want to be a soft target. You want to look mean. And the best way to deal with a situation is looking like a hard target. Because the reality is simple. If you don't want to mess with me, you're probably going to not mess with me. And I'm probably going to win that fight without doing anything. Because you don't want to mess with me, right? And the Marine Corps was a pretty big dude, right? Like, ugh. And a lot of Marines didn't just mess with me. You know, back in those days, I was 210 pounds of muscles, right? Now I'm like 270 pounds of muscles and M&Ms and a bunch of other stuff. But back in those days, I mean, I was pretty strong. So people didn't mess with me, you know, because that appearance, looking like a hard target. If you go into combat, we always want to look like a hard target, right? Like, how are you gonna carry your rifle? How are you gonna walk? How are you gonna behave yourself? How are you gonna look around? I mean, are you gonna carry your rifle like down in the floor? You're gonna pick up that rifle, put it in your shoulder, and walk around. Take 3 steps, look around. You know, watch your 6, things like that, right? There is looking like a hard target is definitely a great thing to do. So to me, looking like a hard target, not just saying just you, but actually where you at, it has a lot to do with dealing with this looters. You know, if they got looters coming into your house, into your neighborhood, and the looters go like, whoa, what's going on? This guy's looking like he means business. They're probably going to back away really, really quick. And an example of that is going to be what happened in Ferguson when veterans stood out there with rifles, ready to fight, looking like hard targets, and the looters were just like running and then backing up and going to a different place. I mean, it was just unbelievable. They wouldn't even mess with them. Why? Because they look like they were ready to take care business. So again, I'm not saying you have to you know, look like Rambo outside your house during a hurricane, but what I'm saying is that if you see a hurricane and there's destruction and you in your house, and you know, it looks, you could implement ways to look like a hard target, right? Maybe you stand outside, maybe you stand, you know, you walk around making sure your property is taken care, and maybe you're doing things to kind of stay, you know, kind of stay on top of what's going on. Now, I love what a sheriff, and actually Pastor Chow sent me this, and I wrote it down here someplace. I haven't put the link. I haven't put the link in the description. I don't think I put the link in the description box, but it's interesting because the sheriff, he say, I think it's Fort Bend County in Texas. He essentially, what he said was like, hey, looters can come into my county, but we believe in the Second Amendment, so they may come here, but they're going to leave the county in a body bag. And let me open this link right here so I could tell you what he said exactly, because I thought it was pretty cool. I love when sheriff, you know, supported the Second Amendment. And okay, he said, we believe in the Second Amendment and we will carry you out of the county in a body bag. This guy is not playing. This guy is a hard target. That's what I'm talking about. This guy is not a soft target. This sheriff is not telling you, you know what, you could come and take advantage of me. You could come here and steal my stuff. You could come here and disturb my people. He's saying, you know what, if you come here and you play stupid, we're going to show you that we mean business. And I love it. I dig it. I really do dig it. So let me look at some of the comments here, because I'm kind of neglecting you guys' comments. So that's not cool. Hard targets in the house. Glock 17 is in the house. Big shout out to you, sir. Mattel is in the house as well. He's, you know, having a conversation with a bunch of people here. Gregory said, Florida needs open carry. Yeah, no doubt, man. But keep in mind, too, And again, I don't want to say this too much because I don't know exactly everything about this. But in a state of emergency like we are right now, I believe, and some of you guys put it there in the comments, I'm pretty 99.9 sure. I just got to go back and reread it because it has been so long that I haven't read that. But if you're a law-abiding citizen and you don't have any issues and you can legally purchase a firearm, you can legally conceal carry a firearm, and during the state of emergency, you do not need a concealed carry permit. So then you guys put comments right there and let me know exactly how that go. Again, it's your duty to do some research and actually find out, know the laws and regulations and things like that. So big shout out to everybody out there watching. We definitely appreciate the support that you guys giving me. Joel is in the house. If you are a Christian and you like listening to good Christian advice, go ahead and subscribe his channel. He does pretty good. I appreciate your videos too, sir. I'm actually donating to his channel as well as a patron. So put a bunch of things on patrons, man. I'm tracking your fee and I'm watching what you're doing there. And don't get demotivated, because I know how patron can be. Could upset some people, but don't get demotivated. Keep pushing and continue with your hard work. Is definitely good. But here's the deal. Always look at a security plan. Always look at a security plan. Like I said, looking like a hard target. Don't look like a soft target. Set up a security plan. I always think that having a security plan is critical. I always think that having a way to react to a situation is critical. Security plans should have a lot of different things, right? And, a lot of people always tell me when I talk here on the channel, and they say, well, we're not in combat. We're not in Afghanistan. That doesn't mean anything. Obviously, I'm not going to set up a security plan with a machine gun, 50 cal on the top of my roof. I mean, hopefully that's not how I'm going to go. I'm not going to put a freaking grenade in my, LVV or my chest rake, because we don't do that. But you could still have the fundamentals of being in the military. You could still apply it to a civilian life. You have your 360 degrees. You have sectors of fire. You have areas of responsibility. Maybe little brother is making sure that the back of the house is taken care. I'm making sure that the front of the house is taken care. Remember, we're talking about looters. So an emergency happened, right? An emergency happened, and now we are in a situation where people are breaking into houses. So now we have a security plan. So now maybe he's in the back covering that 180 degrees. Maybe I'm in the front. Maybe there's 3 guys, or we could kind of rotate a little bit. Maybe we do something where we could just do some walk arounds around the house, making sure people are not coming in. I mean, set up a security plan. Security plan should have a communication plan. Should have a way to evacuate. Should have many different things. I mean, a security plan should take a lot of information, right? So set up a security plan. I think doing that is crazy. And to me, it's simple, and I said this in the past. I'm going to say a couple of things that I said in the past. Remember, everything can be replaced. Your life or family won't. A lot of times we get really into this. And remember, like I said, everything can be replaced, but your family can't. So, to me, the most important thing is my family. And again, the computer and the camera, even though this camera was like $700, that was a lot of money. Again, this could be replaced. My families cannot be replaced. But set up a security plan. And I always think about this. I always stay to this concept, which is the whole shooting, moving, and communicating. My security plan should have shooting, moving, and communicating. Should have ways for me to learn how to shoot. Should have ways for me to understanding firearms. Should have way for me to know what caliber I got to carry. Should have way for me to involve the whole shooting concept, to include sharing magazines with my spouse, sharing magazines with my brother-in-law, having that same compatible firearm, compatible caliber, so we don't run into issues. I mean, everything, having different escalations, maybe having a rifle, AR-15, for high, threats environment, maybe having a pistol for maybe less conceal or more concealability, things like that. My plan always have a shooting aspect, always have a moving aspect. That moving, again, is going to be how we're going to move under fire, how we're going to move under attack, where we're going to go. I mean, moving has a lot to do, and always going to have a communication piece, because we have to be able to communicate not only with your family, but we have to communicate with authorities. We have to communicate with the police, let them know, hey, this is what's going on. So we have to communicate with a bunch of people, right? This thing is striking my face. So we have to communicate with a bunch of people. So those are some things that you got to keep in mind: shooting, moving, and communicating. So really write down those things, those 3 things. If you ever want to go into a security plan and you ever go like, well, I don't know anything about setting up a security plan. First of all, do some research, educate yourself, continue to learn. But those 3 are biggest aspects of the plan. So always think about that. Always do immediate action drills, meaning that after you set up that plan, you start practicing that plan, right? You definitely got to do that, and you definitely got to set up those IA drills and start going from there. So dealing with looters is keep in mind, this is what I'm going to say. How you're going to deal with this, it takes a lot. This is not going to be your basic looters are coming into your house, are just going to start shooting. It's not like that. You are responsible for every round that comes out of your gun. Dealing with looters is something that you should avoid at all time. You should definitely avoid them. You should try to avoid that at all time. I mean, I'm talking about regular people over here, guys, right? I mean, there's some guys here in the community that are very experienced. You got Wicked out there, Army guy, retired from the Army, infantry guy being in combat. I mean, this guy could potentially defend, not potentially, he could defend his house better than many of us right here, probably many than all of us in here, right? We have Mateo out there, former Marine as well, that knows tactic. We got, I think Gregory was in the Navy, if I recall correctly. We have Richard in the military. I mean, we have guys that done the training and they know a lot, right? But then we have your basic dude, right? Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with being a basic dude. You got mom and dad that doesn't know much. Even though you're in that level, and even though I'm in, maybe in a little bit higher level, I mean, this is the police job. If you can evade it at all time, evade it. If you could walk away from it, walk away. That's how you deal with it. I know it's not the popular answer, because people will say, well, get your AR-15 and start shooting. If you can evade having that a confrontation, if you could mitigate that, if you could stop from doing that, do it, because you don't know what's going to happen. I mean, you may think that you have a gun and you start shooting, and you may think you're going to be okay and you're going to take care of business. It could backfire on you. Your family going to get killed. You could get killed over what? A TV and a computer. So, you know what? Call the police. That will be my advice. Call the police. Even for the more advanced guys out there that know a lot. Some guys may want to stay home and actually defend their houses. Nothing wrong with that. I kind of feel in that way sometimes too. I kind of go from like, no, but then I'm like, you know what? I work really hard. This is my house. If you want to come in here, you may have to mean business, because I ain't living kind of style. So I feel the same way too. But at the same time, I start thinking, I'm like, well, my kids are here. So in the last resort, if I have to defend my family, I know how. I have a security plan. I'm going to look like a hard target like I talked about. I'm going to have a communication plan. I'm going to have a shooting plan. I'm going to be on point with members of my family that they know what to do, how to do it. They know how to shoot, and they won't hesitate if the time comes. So, I don't know. I hope I gave you good information. I know I come here and I talk for like 23 minutes. And I hope I gave you good information, but you definitely got to dealing with looters. I mean, it's just sad. It's sad that people take advantage of this. You know what? I was buying some cases of water, and I was thinking to myself, do I got enough? And then I started thinking, you know what? There may be a possibility that my neighbors need some more water. So I may buy a little bit more water, just in case my neighbor tells me, hey, man, you know what? I ran out of water. Can you help me out? And I could give him a case of water or a few water. I was thinking about things like that, but to charge $90 for a case That's just sad, and that's just like upset me. Like it truly upset me that people take advantage of people like that. Excuse me. So again, let me don't forget to check out the links in the description box. Support Texas by donating $1, $2, $1,000 to this organization already here, the Winning Walk and the Red Cross. And if you have one that you're using and it's working out for you, share them in the link as well. You know, I picked this too, but again, you know, that doesn't mean that those are the two. If you want to donate money to a different people, you know, do that as well. Big shout out to County Spooky, donated $5 to the channel. Don't donate to the channel, donate to the Texas group, guys. But I appreciate the $5 too. That helps out a lot. So, or donate to Texas and then donate to the channel. There we go. I gotta pay. I'm gonna use it for food. I gotta pay some bills. So, all right. So let me look at some of the comments right here. You guys are great. Can you guys hear me fine? Can you see me fine? I'm trying OBS, and I really dig it. I think that this quality of live stream is really, really good. I really dig it. I got stuff that I want to do. I got stuff that I'm trying to do, and I'm gonna start here with Gary. Gary says, let me see. Let me make sure that I'm in frame. Bam. Larry say, are you ready for Irma? Is it Irma? Arma? I don't even know how you pronounce that. I'm as ready as I'm gonna go right now. I'm actually a little bit upset because I bought a generator, and I bought the generator. The generator was supposed to get here yesterday. I bought it like a week or so ago, and apparently Lowe's messed it up, and you know, it's not gonna be here. So I was kind of upset because again, you know, I want to get that generator for the house, but then little brother's gonna bring a generator just in case. It's gonna bring it Thursday. So that's good. Now, other than that, check it out, guys. Fuel cans. It was unbelievable crazy to find fuel cans. I mean, I sold 2 cans, you know, $5 cans, and they were like $20 a piece. And I'm thinking to myself, well, that's too expensive. You know, I could find it at a better price. Comes to find out was that I couldn't buy the fuel cans. I should have just bought them there. I was being cheap. I just thought that $40 for 2 fuel cans was too much. Apparently, that's like kind of like the current price. So I kind of messed up with that. But little brother's going to bring the generator. It's going to bring some fuel cans as well. We have many cases of water. We have food. We have extension cords. We have power banks for the cell phones. One of the things that I bought today, actually, we bought 2 fans in case the lights goes out. One of the things that I actually got today is that I got this connector that is going to allow me to connect a propane tank to my camping stove, right? I got this little camping stove that I use to cook, but the problem with it, if you ever use one of them, is they have the little tanks. I think it's a 1 pound tank. I wanted to connect it to the big tank, to the 20-gallon tank, you know, the regular propane tanks that come in a barbecue. But I guess I needed this adapter, so I bought it. I don't know if it's the right one or not. I got to try it out. But my point is to be able to cook there with a big tank versus the little tank, right? And then obviously we have charcoal, we have water. We said, now one of the things that we don't know yet is if we bugging out or not. I mean, they're talking about category 4, category 5 hitting down in Miami. You guys know I'm in the Pound Coast area, which is close to Daytona Beach. I'm sure that it's going to come down in level. Category 3, I think we could do it with no problems in the house here. We have those things, those metal things that you put in the window and all that stuff. So I think I'll be all right with a category 3. I just don't know if, let's see. I just don't know if a category 4 or 5 will, that category 5, nah. So if I have to bug out, because I was talking to the wife about this, I may go up north and then take a left and go towards the Tennessee area, just waiting to see what's going on, just checking out the reports and things like that. If I hit the Tennessee area, I may show up there for like, 8 hours, have some breakfast, stick around, and then hopefully in a day drive back to the house. I don't want to do it. It's going to be last resort. I just don't want to leave my house. But obviously I'm taking my wife, I'm taking my kids, and I'm taking my guns. That's, yeah. So, let me look at some of the comments in here. Joel said, talk about protecting your home as someone who doesn't have a firearm. I don't know what to tell you, man. If you don't have a gun, it's just a horrible situation. Obviously, things like being in shape, which I know from watching your videos, you're pretty in shape, dude. Being in shape is going to be good because being able to fight with your body, it means a lot, right? If you're ready to fight, it means a lot. Weapons of opportunity, meaning weapons of opportunities will be weapons that you could utilize to defend yourself. Baseball bat, many other things that you could find in your house, a spear, I don't know, machete, machetes, they work really well. A katana sword. I actually had a girl pull a katana sword on me one time when I worked as a military police officer. Weapons of opportunity, that will be your best choice. The problem with that is when you come into looters, you may come into multiple attackers. So if you're gonna fight 4 or 5 guys holding a baseball bat, most likely you're gonna go down, and most likely it's just not gonna work out for you. So to me, it's simple. A firearm is the best choice to have. Now, I don't think you live in the United States. I'm not sure. So there may be some issues there. But if you could buy a gun, that's the best way to deal with that. If you don't have a gun, then there will be issues. Remember, Jesus says, sell your stuff, and go and buy a sword. And the disciples came back, and the disciple says, I have 2. And then Jesus says, it's good. That's good. 2 is good. And if we look at that concept, back in the Roman Empire, right, a sword was a weapon, a military weapon utilized to attack and kill the enemy. So I really think that when he said that, he meant to be smart. He knew that, always God knows this. He knows that there's bad people in this place, and he knew that people are going to come and try to attack you. So you need to have a tool that is going to help you out to survive a situation. If you fight 4 guys and you have a pistol, you have a chance. If you have no pistol, you have no chance. So that's kind of like what kind of, thinking about. Hall says, loud and clear, love the new camera. Man, the new camera is awesome. I had to buy this thing called a Cam Link, which is made by some gamer company, Elgato or something. And apparently it connects, to my camera, and it allows me to use my main camera. This is the camera that I always use as a webcam. And the only problem was that I had to go from my main computer to this computer because this computer didn't support that system. So I had to go into this computer. It doesn't make any sense. So now I'm running 2 computers. I'm like fancy over here. Bam, bam. So I'm running the stream pictures and all that from here, OBS, but I'm actually reading the comments from this computer. So yeah, it get pretty fancy over here in the JH6. Let's see. Mark said, I have been out of the military over 20 years, but I always keep my head on the swivel. Yeah, man, that's kind of like some of the things that we do in the military, right? We could get out of the military. That doesn't mean the military gets out of us. We always think the same, act the same, talk the same. That's why we get along. You can't fake to be in the military because military guys know when you are in the military now because we get along. We are very unique type of individuals. I like to call it that way. So Wicked's in the house. Big shout out to Wicked. It's always good to have him here. Gerald say I went to Walmart and they are sold out of vegetable oil. Why would that be? I don't know, man. I went to Walmart today as well and there was no water. Nothing. 0. So Pastor Chow's in the house. He's in Texas right now doing great things. Really, really good things. So it's good to have him here. It says we have 1,600 volunteers out of the community on Monday, Labor Day. Great people. You know, and when I do these videos, I kind of like to share information or talk about things like this. But I always think to myself, there's so many great people out there. I mean, great people. 1,600 people volunteer. I mean, I love seeing the community get together and help out. That's why I get upset when I see people taking advantage of the community. Incredible Rob said they did that during 9/11. People were selling water bottles, $20. Wow, man, that's just sad. So $20, that would just upset me. Okay, Gutierrez says, do you know something about the Florida governor just signed allowing gun owners to bear arms without a permit during the mandatory evacuation this weekend? Yeah, that's what I was talking about, man. I read something about it a while ago, quite a while ago. I think, yes. I think he signed something related to that. You definitely got to go and check it out. So let me see. Let me see some of your comments. If you guys got comments, put it in the comment section. I'm trying to cover some of your comments here. So Mateo said, I went to Walmart today and they were out of 22. You know, man, I don't know. I haven't stocked up on 22 since so long. I mean, I got enough 22. I think I got plenty. But I kind of, I don't know. Maybe I'll talk about that. I kind of staying away out of the 22. I went away from the 22 love, if you want to put it that way. You know, I kind of like, I don't know. Maybe I started debate here, but I'm trying to stick with the 5.56 more, and I kind of stay away from the 22 love. But yeah. Ski 101 said, talk about gun confiscation in the U.S. territory and Irma National Guard going door to door. I think we saw that in Katrina. You know, it was all over the news and all that stuff. I tell you that right now, no one's taking my guns. So if you knock on my door, what guns? I don't have any guns. So no one's, yeah, that would be a bad thing. That would be really, really bad. I don't think that will happen here because, again, you know, I just, Gustavo sent me an article a while ago where the governor was trying to do open carry, and there were some articles related to that. I'm not really sure where the governor stands on that, but I know that he seems to me to be pro-gun in a way based on some of the articles that I've seen. Also, the sheriff from here, from Flagler County, I talked to him in the past, and he told me exactly. He went like this: if I get elected, you will keep your guns. That's exactly what he told me. So the sheriff seems to be a pretty pro-gun guy, you know, law enforcement for many years. I mean, the guy have done some crazy stuff. Actually, Pastor Mike, my pastor from Pastor on Call, he works in the church department as a chaplain too. So again, I don't see that happening here, but if it happens, I mean, again, what guns? I have no guns. So woo, that would be a bad thing. Somebody says something about the Glock. Gregory said, Jarhead, when you getting a Glock Generation 5? You know, guys, the video that I did about the Glock Gen 5 actually took 10,000 views in like 3 days. It's still taking a lot of views. Some people disagree. Some people agree. And I'm not saying that the Glock is a bad gun. Obviously not. I own many Glocks. By no means. If I had to buy a Glock right now, I would probably buy a Generation 5 because it seems to have more things than the other ones. My point to that video was that I was disappointed waiting so many years, the upgrades that they did. That was my point, right? So my point was like, hey, look, we've been waiting for this many years and that's it. That's what we get. So that was my point to the video. I just didn't thought that the upgrades that they did were so much of a big deal. I think they should have called that Glock Gen 4 TAC 2 or something, you know. But again, you know, that's just my opinion. You know, maybe I had high expectations. That was my problem. I had really high expectations. I was expecting, like, you know, cool stuff going on. And again, you know, it is what it is. Now, I know the Glock Gen 5 is not exactly the one that was submitted to the trials for the military. But if I see that gun, I mean, to me, it wasn't that impressive over the SIG. Now, we all know the SIG is having issues, you know, rounds going off or whatever. But you know what? So many guns have had issues. To sit here and say, you know what, we're going to frame SIG over this, it would be kind of hypocritical because the Gen 4 had issues. We all remember the throwing shells to your face. The Glock 42 trigger wasn't resetting for a while. A lot of people had issues on the triggers not resetting. I mean, the Glocks have had issues in the past, and I'm sure some of you guys could put some of the issues in here. So, to me, when I see issues in the companies, I'm not just basing my opinion on the issues. I'm basing my opinion on how they're going to take care of that issue. You know, what are they going to do to fix it? Because guns are tools and tools have issues. I just want to know what are they going to do to fix it. And I still think the SIG P320 looks like a solid choice. I like the fact that you could change your frames. I like everything about it. I like the trigger was really good when I shot it. I like the gun a lot. Now, if it's going off, maybe they need to change some things. What I want to see is how they're going to fix it. That's it. So... but I was kind of disappointed on the whole Gen 5 thing. Maybe some of you guys share some of the comments in here. I'm trying to go back into the comments. Appreciate everybody watching. We had about, I don't know, like 50 people watching. Now we got like 40-something people watching. So that's just awesome. Awesome. Hoss V11 say, hey, Jarhead, what is the next biggest priority for you after family? Let's see. You know what, man, you know, at this point, the biggest, first of all, I know this is going to suck. Things sucks. I mean, you know, hurricane is going to suck. So the biggest priority that I have right now is gathering the information that I need to make a decision. So I'm already, you know, I'm good. I mean, I got things that I need to survive. I may not have all my wants, but I have things that I need. I have way to communicate. I have way to listen to the radio. I have way to get information. I have food. I have water. I have ways to cook. You know, I have all that stuff. I feel pretty confident that if the hurricane hit, I could hold myself. I got ways to protect my house too. Because actually one of the extras that I got in this house is that I could cover all the windows. You know, I got the things in the garage. I mean, when time comes to come, me and the boys are going out there and patch all the windows, right? I mean, I feel confident. Right now, my next biggest priority is making a decision if I'm leaving or not. That's going to be the biggest priority. And I really need to know what's going on. You know, they're saying right now that the hurricane is going to hit sometime Sunday. So if I had to leave, will be Saturday. So to me, it's like setting up a plan and being, I'm bugging out, right? I'm leaving. Where am I going? I need to know where am I going, right? So I told the wife, we got to prep some bags, and I want little bags. You know, I don't want big bags. I want, because first of all, my car is small. You know, we got a new car, and we got another car, and the other car, you know, is big, but it's not really good. You know, I was driving home today, and the car turned off in the middle of I-95. You know, some of you guys may think I'm a famous YouTuber that make a lot of money. I don't. So, you know, my biggest priority is that I got to find out. Give me 1 second. I got to find out where am I going, right? So I need to make that decision. I need to know, like, all right, I may have to leave, by this day and I'm going to this location. And guess what? There may be a possibility that I won't even find a hotel, or maybe a possibility that I find one. So I need to identify where am I going. But the problem is that I can, because I don't know if the hurricane is going to go in that way. If I say right now I'm going to South Carolina and the hurricane is going into South Carolina, I'm going to be in a lot of trouble, right? So I'm thinking Tennessee, North Georgia. That may take me 7 hours, but I could drive up there, have some lunch at a restaurant, stick around for a day, and then come back, right? And I think that's going to be okay. So right now, my biggest priority is just making sure my family's safe and making sure that I know if I'm going to stay or I'm going to leave. And so I'm tracking on that. But there's going to be more videos. Even if a hurricane comes, if I could power the camera, I live stream or I record with the camera and then, edit it and put it here in the channel. So, all right, guys, I got to take off. But check it out. Don't forget about the donations. Don't forget about supporting the good people of Texas. There are going to be links down below. We really appreciate that. I love getting together as a community and do things like this. I mean, it's just amazing to be able to do it, right? Truly, truly amazing. I want to say thank you to everybody that watches the channel. Thank you for the people that donated money to the channel. Thank you for the patrons. Google continue to screw us over. I mean, my views are going down. Money is like pennies, compared to what we used to get in the past. Barely any money. Views are going. I think I dropped 100,000 views this month. And that has to do with the whole not recommending the videos. They're trying to silence me and many guys. Look around some of the YouTubers. Some of the YouTubers are not making videos no more. Some of the guys are just not making videos anymore because they can't afford it. I tell you right now, I cannot afford to test guns anymore. So I've been doing a lot of this. I enjoy doing this. Some of you guys like it. Some of you guys hate it. I'm going to be doing some gun videos as I can. But if you think that I'm going to spend $150 to review a gun, $200 to review a gun, it's just not possible right now. So I appreciate the support you guys give me, especially some of the patrons out there. You guys are awesome. I really appreciate that. So stay tuned. Like I say, I continue to say this. We got a lot of stuff coming up, and I'm digging it. I'm loving the community. I love being part of this. It's just so amazing to be part of this community right here. And let me do something right here. So again, guys, appreciate the support. Stay tuned tomorrow, 09 Eastern time. We are going to do it again. And as always, guys, God is in control.